Hello everyone, this is ToadinWonderland. Welcome back to more of Let's Play Batman Arkham Asylum. Today, I'm going to cover all of the extreme challenges as Batman. And oh my god. This took me quite a few attempts for some of these challenges, I'll go ahead and say that right now. These are legitimately difficult. I don't know any other adjective I could possibly use to describe how hard and insane these are. This particular one, though, is not too bad. It's just like the original um, first challenge, the regular challenge. I'm terrible at knowing what the names of these are. I'm not even going to attempt it. I forget what this one's called. I don't remember what most of them are called. But at least I know it takes place in intensive treatment. That is the setting of the area. It's pretty much the first fight of the game, actually, so I can understand why they would choose this location. As before, you definitely want to string as many combos as you can and keep your multiplier going. That way you can increase your score and try to avoid not getting hit. Or try to avoid getting hit, I should say. That way you can get a bonus for going through the challenge without getting hit, but sadly I failed right there, so I will not get the perfect bonus. I got it on the very first challenge, and that's probably the only time I'm ever going to get that bonus, because that is how difficult it is to not get hit. As I said, though, you definitely want to keep stringing your combos together. I remember, even though I was like getting agitated by some of these challenges, I did manage to get 2 PlayStation trophies in the process. At one point, I don't know if it's going to be shown in my attempt or not. It was in a later challenge. I managed to get over times 40 combo, so that unlocked the free flow times 40 trophy, or achievement if it's for the Xbox. And I also got a combat challenge silver, which meant that I got 16 of the 24 Batman medals for the challenge, or the combat challenges, I mean. And then gold, obviously, you have to get all the medals, which will take some time. That's not coming anytime soon. But I never got either of those PlayStation trophies before till I was doing this challenge mode here. So that helped out good. Let me get a few more trophies in the process. As I said, though, I'm not really showing off all the trophies. I think that was clear from the beginning of the project. And it's funny, because it's almost the end of the project now, and I'm just talking about that. Oh, but whatever. That's completely optional, too. It's just something extra they throw in for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. If you want to give yourself a good challenge. And they are legitimate challenges. They take quite a bit of endurance and determination to get, I will say that. At the time I'm recording this too, I only got half of the extreme challenges recorded. The other half, I started doing the first challenge of the other half, and my goodness, it was depressing what happened. I did finally manage to win it, but still, I even practiced off screen, and I was doing terrible then too. As I said before, I thought Arkham City's extreme challenges were bad. I changed my mind on that. These are worse. The ones on Arkham City are definitely more generous. I guess I should mention too, to get the medals on the extreme challenges, the requirement's a little bit higher than before. I believe, I think you only needed 18,000 to get 3 on that regular challenge before, but they increased the requirements. You need more points to get all 3 medals. It's like that for most challenges, and here was what happened with the first Predator extreme challenge I did. First attempt went terrible, and Joker mocks me.
For their undying support, and the people of Gotham, who I will be seeing very, very soon.
That sinister laugh of his. And second time around sucked as well. I should have known better than to go up on top of a gargoyle that has bombs on them.
Oh, I'd like to thank my fans.
And that was the same exact thing he said. And here came the third attempt. So I guess the third time was the charm. So spoilers, I already did it. But my goodness, look at these challenges. They want you to blow up 3 separate walls to knock out 3 different henchmen. They want you to use the line launcher to KO an enemy through a window. And you are also required to, I missed what the third one was, I'm sorry. Yeah, my mind's still in somewhat of a fluster after doing these. And I did make a little cut here because there was some time going by and nothing was happening at all. The medal requirement with the line launcher going through a window is actually not too bad. That's not too difficult to achieve. But the problem is, as soon as you do that, you draw attention to where you're at. And yeah, that creates havoc. I recommend you try to save that for one of the later medals you get once you clear out a few enemies first. Oh, and don't forget that you also have the Sonic Batarang too to help you out as well. I guess I should mention, for the Extreme Predator challenges, all the gargoyle vantage points now have bombs on them. So as soon as you go up on them, they'll blow up pretty much as soon as you get up to them. So use them only if you absolutely have to. And yeah, that failed. I think the third requirement, and I hope I'm right about this, I believe what you were supposed to do is get on a gargoyle and land on top of a henchman and then knock him out that way. Which, again, that's not too bad, but because the gargoyles now have bombs on them, that does make it more difficult to achieve. And yeah, I almost died there. I'm in the red, so a bullet or two, yeah, and Batman will die. How lovely. I'm just so glad I have the health upgrade. And yeah, as I said before, you can always use the Sonic Batarang, especially for these challenges, because you're going to be in situations where that is just going to be so difficult to do. I don't think well, I'm not sure. Yeah, I didn't think I used it right away. Because what happened was it landed there by accident. But it still worked out to my advantage, as you'll see here in just a few moments. I hide back into the grate, and as the henchman walks by where the Batarang was, I detonated it and knocked him out. That was nice. Yeah, that's easily one of the better items on this game, is for the challenge mode especially, because it's basically a free KO for when you're in a tough situation. It's a good way to knock out an enemy, because they always wear the suicide collars too. I don't think there are any challenges where you, well, obviously the combat challenges are not wearing it, but the Predator challenges, they always have those suicide collars on. So in effectiveness, you can use the Sonic Batarang on them and knock them out. Exactly, Joker. And that was all of them. And I got no medals at all for that attempt. The first 2 attempts, I think I did get at least 1. But as I said, that challenge right there is insanely hard. To get the one where you have to detonate 3 separate walls on 3 different henchmen at the same time, that's asking too much in my opinion. That's just insanely crazy. And I'm sure there's a video on YouTube already showing how to do that, but again, I didn't look at that beforehand. Oops. Yeah, I can't say that I know for sure how to do that myself. I can't believe the game developers would be that cruel to you, though. Like, that particular medal requirement is just cruel. Why would you give something like that to gamers? I mean, I know this is extreme challenges, but when they say extreme, they mean worse than extreme. The combat challenges aren't too bad. There is one, though, that gives me a heck of amount of trouble, and is the reason why I don't have the later half fully recorded at this time. And I already predict at the time I'm going to show this video on YouTube, yep, I'm not going to have both part 1 and part 2. That's how I did it with the regular challenges, at least. I separated them in 2 parts. Basically half and half. First half and the second half. But anyway, I was saying, there's no way I'm going to have the second half ready in time for YouTube, in accordance with my schedule. And I apologize about that, but this game does that to you. Luckily, though, that's the hardest part of the game, and we'll never have to do it again once I do it the first time around. And this challenge goes pretty good. Again, this is another combat challenge, the same as the first one. I think this one was called Sewer Bat or something, I want to say. Or Sewer Knight, Sewer Bat. It takes place in the cave system, if you couldn't tell by the atmosphere of the arena that we're in. And they even left the Chronicle of Arkham there, which was kind of a nice touch. But, yeah, as far as these challenge maps go, they're based off locations you found in the main story campaign. When I get to the downloadable content, which I will be doing next after the extreme challenges, I did decide to do that and then save the Joker for last. But anyway, the downloadable content is going to have unique challenge maps. There'll be new areas that haven't been shown in the game yet. So that'll be nice once we get to those. Not only that, they're not like these extreme challenges where you have to get insanely good scores and do insanely good tricks to get all 3 medals. They're not too bad as far as the requirements, for most of them at least. I think there is one that is questionable as far as why you would ask players to do this, but like the extreme challenges, you gotta somehow find a way to do it. I wish I was good enough to be able to show them, because then this would be more helpful as a guide, not just a Let's Play. But, again, the point of a Let's Play is to have fun, and when I'm not having fun, I just gotta take a breather. And I know I said before, like, if I have a preference between the combat challenges or the Predator challenges, for this particular game, it's probably very equal. Like, I really don't prefer one over the other. When it comes to Arkham City, I would have to say probably the combat challenges. The Predator challenges are good too, but they're combat challenges. The combat system's improved well enough that it feels more fluid and more easier to handle. And like the combo, like you can use the gadgets during your combat combos. They make sense and they're easy to use on Arkham City. On here, they're kind of like you gotta time it just right to get them activated. At least it's only the Batarang and the Ultra Bat Claw. On Arkham City, there's like 5 different gadgets you can use during combat, but it still works. Like they have it very easy to use. And yeah, you gotta watch out the enemies don't grab guns. That'll happen sometimes. That's why whenever they get near a metal cabinet, you gotta try to get them away from there. And when they are starting to use a gun, you could try to use the Ultra Bat Claw, or try to time your actions so that you can get right beside them. But yeah, again, I gotta say though, this definitely is harder just because of the fact there's more enemies. And I also want to say that their AI improves too, because it seems like a lot of them are attacking me more often as well. Because as you can see, they're just like coming in all directions. And yeah, I see it's lagging just a little bit right now. That's probably because there's so many enemies on the freaking screen at one time. And my current recording setup, well, the lag vanishes right there. At least it's not too bad. But yeah, I see where it did lag a little bit. At least it didn't lag throughout the whole video like Luigi's Mansion. My goodness, I am so sorry about that. I really wish there was something I could do about Luigi's Mansion. It's like, that game doesn't want me to LP it, but like what you've seen there earlier, it sped up and slowed down. It did that throughout the whole recording of Luigi's Mansion, and it's like, why? It made me so mad. And there was no way I was going to show that on YouTube. And I think this one was called Record Breaker Extreme. By the way, I make this look harder than what it actually is. This particular challenge actually isn't too bad in my opinion. I was trying to get one of the medals right here though, and this is how I ended up screwing up. Yeah, the mine launcher stopped at an unfortunate location. I meant to get it where I would kick into the other enemies too.
I thought you'd last longer.
And the second time around, I had better success, but if you look at the time, it took me several minutes to get around to doing things. On that particular attempt, I managed to get... Okay, I'll talk about the medal requirements. One of them requires you to use the remote control batarang so that you hit 3 enemies within one go with the remote control batarang. I was so happy because I managed to pull it off during that run right there. But, yeah, it just didn't work out. I don't know why it did that for sure, but, but anyway, that's probably the hardest of the 3 requirements. The other 2 requirements, one, you have to use the sonic batarang and detonate it so that an opponent will get knocked out by it, which, that's pretty standard. That's, honestly, that's pretty generous considering that this is an extreme challenge. And the other requirement is to kick 2 enemies using the line launcher, and one, like, as you use the line launcher in one go, you have to kick 2 enemies. This is my 3rd attempt, by the way. I can't remember if I said that a little bit ago or not, but the 3rd attempt was much better, as you'll see here. And yeah, don't stay on the gargoyles too long, because they'll blow up. But anyway, the line launcher requirement, it's pretty easy to do, actually. It's not too bad. I know, like, just the sound of it at first, it sounds really difficult. It's like, oh my god, how am I going to do that? But in all honesty, you're usually given good situations where you can pull it off, just like right there. I almost actually kicked 3 of them, which would have been better, but the requirement only said to get 2, so I got the medal anyway. And as I said, the sonic batarang, to detonate it on an opponent, that's pretty easy to pull off. Because you can... I mean, that's easy to activate. So that was pretty generous that they gave that to you. Of the extreme predator challenges, this one probably is the easiest to complete. The remote control batarang is probably the only one that will give you some trouble of the 3. Because, as the challenge says, you're to hit 3 enemies with 1 remote control batarang, which... It's not really hitting the enemies that makes it hard, it's just getting around some of the corners. Like, sometimes... Unless they're in a cluster, you gotta kind of spread it out a little, where it'll be able to hit 3 of them in one go without actually running out, if that makes any sense. Basically, the remote control batarang, when you use it, if it's in the air too long, it'll stop and kind of like fly on its own and fly off into oblivion. You can only control it for so long before it loses control, basically. If that makes any sense. And I decided to skip it because I did not have a good setup there to get the remote control batarang. I would have liked to gotten all 3, but again, it's possible, it's just difficult. And I don't know what I was trying to do to that guy actually, but it worked. Oh, I guess I tripped him up so that he'd be stunned. Well, that's good, whatever works. But anyway, that was the first half of the challenges. I have to record the other half and get everything completed. Until I do, though, this is the first half of the Extreme Challenges. This is ToadinWonderland, and I'll see you back with the rest of the Extreme Challenges. Until then, peace out.